What's up, my people? I'm back again with another video, and in this episode we are going to talk about an interesting car, which is a Jaguar F-pace. So this car is from 2017. It has a lot of things that I'm going to talk about because for one, I've never been in this vehicle before. I've never driven it, and this will be an interesting touch to see what it offers as compared to other cars in the same segment. First of all, for those who do not know, Jaguar and Land Rover are pretty much the same company. It's actually called Jaguar Land Rover because it's a merger between the two. And what you get on the Jaguar vehicles is also usually what you get in the Land Rover vehicles. So, quick tour about the exterior of the vehicle. You can take a look at the appearance, and first impressions, I must say, it's pretty impressive. Let's also mention that this is a specific trim called the 35T. As you can see the badge over there, 35T all-wheel drive. And that specific trim means it comes with a V6 with a supercharger giving you 340 horsepower, which are good power figures. And also let's mention it's an R Sport, so that means it comes standard with a couple of options and features, which include a certain body kit, 20-inch alloy wheels, 18-way powered front seats.
1 hour later,
we have that Jaguar badge looking like the Jaguar animal, of course, and then that massive grille exposing the radiator that is right behind it. But I love the headlight design with this having the LED technology from Jaguar. Let's take a walk around. You mentioned the 20-inch alloy wheels, which comes standard in this car. Being an R Sport, you can get the badging at the side of the vehicle saying R Sport. And now let's take a look at the profile of this car. So we can see the length of the vehicle. It sits quite low for an SUV, and it's also pretty long. It's longer than a GLC, for instance, but it's shorter than maybe an X5 or an X6. So if I was to give this vehicle a size comparison, I would say it's maybe closer to a Lexus NX or an RX. I think an RX is a more better comparison for this vehicle. Yeah, so I want to talk about the interior of the side of the car as well. We'll see about the practicality bit, what it has to give you for someone who's going to drive it for a daily course. Inside this car, there are very many notable features that will tell you this car is definitely from Land Rover. One of them is the position of the adjustment for the windows, which I don't personally prefer. I feel like it's always too far to reach when you have them positioned over here. It's more ergonomic when they are down here. But for this vehicle, we have the seat controls and adjustment, I mean the memory seats, and the lock and unlock functions over here, which now takes the space where conventionally we would have this over there. The seats, on the other hand, are controlled with these electronic adjustment knobs there, and as I mentioned before, they are 18-way adjustable, so that's a lot. This, however, doesn't include lumbar support, which is unfortunate for guys like me who really do love it. For a British vehicle, we expect the inside of this car to have premium materials that include leather on the dashboard, and it has a two-tone color setup, which is also something common in Land Rover, where we have this black over here and then blended together with the beige. I think this is white or beige. I'm pretty colorblind, so I can't really tell. But the seats are also bucket seats, and they have some perforations to mean that they will have air conditioning, of course. Of which you expect nothing less, a sunroof that goes all the way to the back. It's a panoramic sunroof, and it lights up the entire cabin of the vehicle, including the rear seat passengers. Let's take a look at how it does this job. So first you need to pull the visors all the way back just to have that clear roof, and then you can go ahead and now open the sunroof itself, which is controlled from up here. So I think that's the maximum we're going to get to it, and you can fit up here if you're trying to do your stuff, politicians, but definitely this is not a car for politicians to be using. Stargazes look very similar to that in a Range Rover. The contrast, the colors, the setup, the display, everything is just pretty much similar to that. So if you're familiar with Land Rovers, you'll also remember that we have this type of gear selector which looks like a volume button, but that's how the Land Rover way we do stuff. So we get that over there. We also have our parking brakes, that is electronic, adjusted over there. And then the center console doesn't have that much of internal space. Let me switch off the engine too. Yeah, so that's the space we have in there. Cup holders, they don't include a covering, however, which looks a bit awkward because it really does takes away a bit of the flawless design of the interior cabin of the vehicle. However, that's it. First off, the space is not that much plenty. I'm only 5'8", meaning someone who's taller than me might have a bit of a struggle being comfortable back here, especially for long distances. So in terms of practicality, it's trying, but I think other vehicles have done better. A Range Rover, for instance, or even, let's not use a car in the same brand. Let's take an example of a Lexus. A Lexus will definitely have much more space back here as compared to this car. So in terms of practicality, spacious interior, it's not the best, but it's not the worst either. So other accessories down here is the AC, and we have your charging sockets. We have a 12 volt and a USB and another USB. So that's sorted. If you're maybe trying to charge your devices, you'll have yourself set up well. This pocket here to store your stuff. Another pocket is at the door bin over there. Can hold bottles, but at an inclined angle, like pretty much like this. Get to the back and see what the trunk has, how much space it has. Okay. Wow, I'm actually impressed by the trunk space you get back here. It's definitely bigger than an NX200T. That space is definitely bigger. I'll put the numbers of how big this space is in liters up the screen when I do the editing. Underneath we have a spare wheel, which is also very nice because this is an SUV. We expect nothing less. Well, it's a crossover SUV and they've done a nice job on that. So that's the trunk for us, and other accessories back here include a 12 volt charging port, and yeah, that's it, nothing more. Tailgate is of course powered, so the press of a button, it's all the way down. Finally, let's talk about the performance. One of the first things I want to mention is the dual exhaust at the back, which makes it look like a powerhouse. You can see down there we have a real exhaust. It's not fake. It's not like a split exhaust that comes as single unit from the engine and then splits at the back. It's actually a dual exhaust over here, and you can see the mufflers on both sides of the exhaust setup. So I want to switch on the engine so that you can hear the rev sounds. And then let's take a look at the hood. What is powering this machine? Opening the hood is from the passenger side in Land Rover vehicles. need to be aware of that if you're planning to be a customer of one of these vehicles. So there is the power horse. We have a V6 which is supercharged, giving us 340 horsepower. That is definitely enough to get you from 0 to 60 in less than 7 seconds. I'll also put up the figures, the number it takes to get to 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Of course, being a supercharged engine, there is no turbo lag, so every response you get from the engine, every mash of the pedal, you get an instant response to move you from one speed to another. So I love it, and I think I'm going to end the video at this point. Until next time, see you guys, and remember to subscribe and like the video. If you also think someone would like it, consider sharing the video as well. Helps the channel. Thank you guys for watching.